Good evening, everyone. What is happening? Welcome, welcome, welcome. So good to have you with us. Let me open up this chat, then I can see what's going on. I haven't got it open. There we go. I'm not sure if anyone typed anything, but now at least I can see what's happening. Welcome, welcome. So good to have you all with us this evening. I'm pumped. I'm pumped that all my kids are in bed right now. One of them decided to jump out of it 10 minutes ago, so hopefully they stay there. But anyway, besides all that, just really, really excited to be with you this evening. Got some things up my sleeve. I'm just watching charts around me and things over here. I know some of you might be jumping in trades and whatever, but we'll get to that. And man, what a week, guys. I mean, we're straight into it. Jay, I think he did 4 go live sessions today. Like when you think about the work ethic of that man, is massive. And so I know some of you guys who are probably not on this call watching the replay later, you may have been on his 1 or 2 a.m. session, which is our 1 a.m., 2 a.m. the New York Open time of zone. And then he was on there with us this morning at 6. Then he went straight into a crypto session. Then after that, he went into his mindset session. So we'll touch base with that in a minute. But tonight, guys, I am going to share with you a little bit of mindset stuff, go over what was happening this morning on the charts just a little bit, announce a few little things here and there, and just, yeah, it doesn't have to be a long one, but definitely still wanted to do this despite the fact of all the craziness happening on my home front at the moment. Just love bringing together with you guys on a Tuesday night, looking at the chart, seeing what's happening, and just really setting the tone for the week. So with that, first up, want to say massive welcome. If you're brand new and you got started in the last week, I know we had Richard sign up just a matter of hours ago. Welcome, welcome. We had Conrad a few days before that. Who else we had the last few days? We had Paul today as well. We chatted yesterday, and I think Catherine maybe as well. I haven't seen you in the chat yet, but I saw something in the background pop up. So welcome, guys. So good to have you with us on this journey. And just want to say congratulations on making a decision to back yourself, believe in yourself, and to go all in on investing in yourself. To quote someone profound, I don't know who he is, but someone said it: you've got to invest in yourself before you invest in any market. And by doing this, by showing up and investing in your education, you're doing that. And so I want to say well done for backing yourself, believing in yourself. You have launched an amazing journey. Remember the date that you signed up, because it's the beginning of a brand new season with its natural ups and downs. Nothing's rainbows and unicorns around here, but every now and then we have some amazing things follow the plan. And this morning there was one of those moments. So yeah, guys, today was a pretty cool day, to be quite honest. This morning was epic on the charts with Jay. Went on, had my kids with me all over the show, came home, chatted to Rich a little bit. He's on the Chairman cruise somewhere around the Caribbean. They left Miami yesterday, and then while I was chatting to him, he decided to hand the phone over to Alex Morton, so I got to chat to him a little bit earlier, which was nuts. And let's just say, guys, 2024 is going to be a big year. So chatting about him coming here at some point next year. You know, we've been chatting with Jay a long time already. He's priced these flights long ago. So we're working on all of the above getting here. Greg, Melanie, definitely Richard again, and just really want to ramp up what we can do in person. But besides that, already booked doing one event this Sunday afternoon in Papakura, neck of the woods, Southish Auckland. Then as soon as Jess gets back, I think we got one on the North Shore later in the week, next week. Then at least 1 or 2 in Tauranga. I'm probably forgetting one. There's going to be another one. My calendar is just lighting up. So guys, if you want me to come to your house, your city, your town, wherever you are, I want to do my best to get there. We're busy also nailing down a Hawke's Bay date. I would love to just come hang out, and if you've got anyone you want to put in a room and you got a TV, I can plug in, share some stories, share some charts, show what's up, show how this works, and just empower people, guys, with demystifying what this is. Because most of us, you know, the reason why so few people participate here is because they don't know how. And that's the beauty of our network, our support system. We get to do this together. And I can't tell you how much I love it every single time I see one of your names on Go Live in the morning saying hi, or saying NZ, or wherever you guys are, because I know we're not just in New Zealand, we're all over the show. We're in over a dozen countries. And every single time, honestly, like I remember Mike Satiro, really good crypto educator in DCX, once at a live convention, he got up and he just said, you know what the secret is to success here? Stops talking, screen shares on the big screen, just logs into Go Live and clicks on a class. And that is literally the secret to success, is showing up. And Jay did such an outstanding job of talking about that on his mindset call today, the mindset bootcamp that he's doing. I've listened to it twice again since this morning, and it was just brilliant how he spoke about that. Like, if you treat this like the way you treat your job, what kind of results would you get? As opposed to only getting up when you feel like getting up, or only going and studying when you feel like studying. It's like I'm up early and I'm on these charts every day at the moment. Like, I'm loving it. I'm back in the flow of it. And then still late on, I can't remember if it was Saturday night or Sunday night, I was reviewing some of my trades from Thursday and from Friday and Saturday, and just having a deeper look at them. Like, okay, because there's one or two that went really, really well, and there's one or two that was like, oh, what did I do there? And just going back and reviewing those losses. But again, what Jay was saying is, if you treat this like the way you treat your job, most of us, if we still have a job, full-time job, part-time, you show up. You don't really make the call based on how you're feeling. And there's, I've heard some really wise guys who understand psychology say, 99% of things you do because you feel that way deep down. You feel like going to your job, maybe because not you want to go to a job, but you feel like getting a paycheck next week. That's why you go. You've attached the outcome. You just decided that I'm going to do this because I need that. And when you start to realize that, like, what is possible in this space, and if you need some reminding, go on the Compound Calculator website and go tutor around on there, put in some numbers and see what's possible when you can just get consistent with as simple as 5% a week. You don't have to knock out 5% a day, although you will, like you can. But just give yourself that conservative thing of, once I have learnt this skill, once I am progressing and I follow the scan and I follow the rules, amazing things can happen when you give it time. Compound interest just needs time. And so, like Jay said, if what would you do? How would you progress in this space if you treated your trading schedule like your job? And you throwing my pen around, and you just decided, this is my alarm every day. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to show up no matter what, and I'm going to get you early. I'm going to reiterate the rules to myself. I'm going to give myself whatever amount of time frame you need, like 10 minutes, 20 minutes, like a rule. Like, I'm never going to push the button until I've gone through a bit what I need to go through. When you knew, you got to remind yourself of some of the things, like whether it's screenshots of good looking trades or whatever it does, to remind yourself of, okay, I don't take late entries, I don't take whatever buy signals on red candles, like etc. And you just remind yourself of that, and until that gets baked in, and then you can suddenly look at a chart and be like, okay, this is where we are. But just treating it like a job, like, and not just doing because you feel like doing it. Because guys, some people show up here, I'm just keeping it real, some people sign up to the gym and they never show up. Some people sign up here and they don't log in. And it's kind of funny, it goes round and roundabouts, but you know what, log in. Show up. I can't think of anything more motivating, at least when I get up in the morning. I'm up earlier than Jay's go live, on here figuring it out, seeing where things are at. Then once I feel like I'm first, I'm on there and I'm dropping New Zealand on that chat before anyone else most of the time. And I love it, because then when you guys are showing up, I mean, how much better does that feel to not be alone at 6 in the morning when you've got other people showing up together to learn this stuff? So what am I missing here? Got one here in TPOs. Well, maybe I read that. I read that really late, didn't I? Perth, Angie, so good to have you with us. Really, really cool. Jay's Mindset Bootcamp was so good. Yeah, man. Really, really, really good. So, guys, without further ado, let me just see what's going on behind me, because I can't actually see my chart right now. Okay, things are turning around a little bit. But thought it'd be pretty cool to just do a mild little, I'll screen share, show what's up with some stuff, and then we'll go from there. Mike's not with us this evening, in case you're holding your breath for that. So sorry to disappoint, but I've got a few more other mindset things in play that I can bring up. So there is SniperVision right now. And I want to back up for a second. Let's just go to the, if you didn't know this, you can just push the numbers. I wondered for about a year how Mike would just do that. And guess what? If you just push 5, you go to a 5-minute chart. If you push 15, you go to a 15-minute chart. Enter 3, enter a 3-minute chart. So I have my fingers on 1, 3, and 5. And you can bounce between the 15, the 5 without moving your fingers if you want to bounce around a bunch. I know that might be giving some people whiplash, but that's how you can bounce around. I do have way more than one chart open usually in front of me, but for now, obviously I'm not gonna be Jay right now and go through the process, but the rules are pretty simple. We look at the 15 and we determine the trend. And this morning, guys, this little zone right here, this little blue zone for a moment could have wrecked a few people. But when you're looking at this trend, we've been on a strong downtrend, and there was the moment where there could have been the possibility of going up, but I'll tell you why at least I wasn't excited to follow that. In the midst of it all was that 30-minute candle right there. And so price did push up, but then what happened after that? What did that close? That one closed at 6. So halfway through Jay's session, I almost put it in the chat, this 30-minute engulfing red candle closed. And for me, that was like, yeah, I don't see this thing pushing. And then went lower and started to see that pattern that I dropped in the chat. And you can see it there. And you can call it a head and shoulders. You can call it a crown almost. You could actually call it a reverse teacup eventually, which I never spot, but I'll show you what I was seeing this morning. And then from there, what's the best way to see this thing? Maybe on a 3. Yeah, and then we'll show you how that then played out. So obviously overnight, price is coming down. This is now on the 3-minute chart just because it's a little bit nicer to look at. but all the drawing tools on the left. And I never used to spot these patterns until I started to get in my head. So actually, before I do that, why don't I do this? Some of you guys may have seen this, some of you may have not. But if you're brand new, aside from all things SniperVision, we also get to start to recognize some patterns. And I'm going to screen share one more thing quick. And I encourage you to print this out, make a trading shrine on your wall like Rowan and Bernice. Shout out to those guys. Where's this picture? And start to get these things burnt into your subconscious mind. I'm going to talk about your conscious and subconscious mind in a minute as well. But guys, these are just some standard chart patterns that you're going to see over and over and over and over and over again. But they also have got to be in the context of the high time frame. So just because you see something happening on a 1 minute chart, don't hedge everything on that, because yeah, the higher the time frame, the stronger that trend. So you've got all these different things. I mean, the most common ones, oh my goodness, you're going to see a lot of these. You're going to see a lot of flag patterns, right? Impulse up, and then kind of a bit of range, but a little bit down. So you've got a little bit down, then boom, back up. And when you start getting to understand Elliott wave as well, you're going to know you're going to get an impulse up, and you get a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that kind of thing. You're going to start seeing waves of 5 and 3 and ABC retracements. But that's basically that. You got an impulse up and then a flag that prints down, and you end up with structure. And when you draw two lines like that, like I did on Friday or Saturday morning, then when price breaks that structure, okay, here we go. And then the other side there, price comes down, ends up with a channel, and then breaks that, and then it goes. And same with pennant shapes and triple bottoms and double bottoms and the reverse head and shoulders, the head and shoulders. I'm going to show you this right now, which kind of, to be honest, turned into a bit of a sorry, which am I looking? Yeah, almost a bit of a inverse teacup when you look at it. But anyway, we'll unshare that for now, and I can drop that in our chat if you haven't got it already. How do I change what I'm sharing there? And push this button. Oh my word, where's the button? I want to share that one. So let's get back to SniperVision. So right there. So guys, this morning, where was I? On over here, head and shoulders. Saw this big impulse up. We most of us were probably sleeping then, 2 a.m., 3 a.m. New Zealand time. If you want to change the time, you can click on here and you can select whatever time zone you want. So from here, we missed this big impulse up, most of us, and I just went to the next high, and then I saw this dip down there, and then I saw this up there, and I saw that, and then I thought, okay, what's happening next? And then sure enough, that happened, and then I was like, okay, well, once we get around here, and EMAs are going a bit flat, what's going on here? What's going on? Are we going up? And then I was like, okay, I think this might happen. And so at that point there, also before that, had one trend line in place too. I was kind of watching to see if structure would break across any of that. I was just seeing this, and it would have been this at the time. No, that one. There we go. That's what it was. I saw something like that ish. Is it there? That one. Just getting my bearings, because it's on my trading view chart. No, it was that. There we go. I had that in place, and was just watching and waiting, guys. And you can see that on a 3-minute chart, we got a signal, but then it came back up. I took a loss somewhere in there. I placed a lot of trades this morning, but I ended up with 145.88 pips positive by the end of it. So I want to show you where the main one came in, which is this guy. But after that pattern, guys, I was like, okay, why that pattern? Why did that make sense to me? In the midst of that, can you see we had this 15-minute little burst up, but there was something about it that didn't feel right to me in the midst of all this dropping, and I took a loss going for a buy in there, and I was like, no, that's zoom out, have a look. And then sure enough, the 30-minute chart gave me that confirmation at 6:30 that red candle didn't want us to go back up. And then sure enough, after that, price kept dropping and kept doing its thing. So let's zoom back out, back to the 3-minute. And so what happened? Where did we get our signal on the 1 minute? Let me get to the 1. So that's the 3. And if you're watching the 1, where did we get our signal? So the 15-minute did swap back into sell mode if you're watching that trend. And then sure enough, that trend line was broke, fake out, breakout, push back up, right shoulder, comes back down, a little bit of range, and then sure enough, we get that beautiful signal though. And I didn't take that signal. I waited for price to close properly below that trend line, and then I was in on that next candle right there. And 20 pip stop, guys, and 91.55 pips down. And I probably could have stayed in longer, but I didn't. I was a little distracted as well. Kids were starting to wake up and go about, but I missed it. I bounced back up, and I was about there, and I was like, no, I'm good. So I got out there, and then sure enough, price kept going, but I was good. So that right there, guys, is a pattern that you'll see over and over and over and over and over again. And it is incredibly powerful. So what else was I seeing? I don't have a MACD on this thing, do I? Let's see, what else have I got in the background here? Let's go there. Yeah, 3-minute chart, same thing. Roll out, see if you guys are still here. And if you guys have got questions, you can drop them in the chat. I'll see it in a minute. But let's pull up that guy. There we go. So we were already in sell mode on this MACD on the 1 minute, coming up, yeah, right there. And then the 3-minute. With those of you, some of us have spent a lot of time with MACDs in the last couple of years, but yeah, it's not a big deal with SniperVision, but a lot of us have kind of kept it. But basically what this is you got these two moving averages that are moving through here. And when the blue and the orange line are above this middle line, you're kind of in buy mode. And when they go below, like below here, you're kind of in a form of sell mode. But when they cross through like that, that can be quite a significant moment. And sure enough, where were we? Over there, we were already below on the 3-minute chart. And so that tells me we're in sell mode down there. And don't do that. There we go. And then at this point, what happened over there? Price destroyed down that part there, broke that trend line. I don't even have it on this chart, which is kind of through there. And then closed below, pushed back up one more time, rejected. And that's, rejection of a line, which again is something that we learned last year from someone else. And then we've got this situation right here. And if you don't have a MACD and if you're brand new, don't go and add it right now. You've got more than enough to learn with SniperVision basics. But when price did, that, you can just see down here that at this point in time, this line is kind of dipped in, dipped back up, but then it dips in right there. And at that point, that's where price just went poof. And so when these signal lines cross this zero level, this middle level, it's what our previous educator would call a hopper. It happens on it happens on every MACD, whatever you look at. And you can go back test it and have a look. When it happens on the 3-minute, you get generally quite a powerful move. And so at that point, it pushed up. I'm not even going to get into divergence tonight, but for now, price at that point was well and truly gone. So yeah, just wanted to show you guys that pattern from this morning, because some of it, that's the hard part. When you're looking at this going, are we in buy mode? Are we in sell mode? When you have a trend shift, because sometimes when you just initially see that trend shift, you got to be a little bit patient, because price pushes up. And by the time the 15-minute chart has shifted, we had one real burst up there and then it just rejected back down. And so for a brief amount of time, we were in officially a buy mode till 8:15, but that 30-minute candle closed at 6:30. So it took an hour and 45 minutes for this 15-minute chart to switch back, but the context of the giant downtrend was still very prevalent. So the 5-minute was, well, the 5-minute signal popped off. That was a real good confirmation to hang around. This has now been pushed out of place, I think. And then 3-minute, where are we? Was looking great. That 3-minute candle closing below the 238. And then the 1-minute, we had a signal pretty much bang on. So that was gold at that point. If you see those patterns, guys, in the context of the trend, that's the thing you got to remember. So when price is pushing up here explosively, that put us into buy mode in the 15-minute. And then obviously we have these zigzags. I mean, Jay broke these down this morning. He said, even if you took these counter trend buy signals, they were both good. That one wasn't, and those ones weren't. But at that point, we were starting to roll. So anyway, just want to show you guys that little bit of something where if you start to see those head and shoulders, man, those are really high probability trades. And when the neckline gets broken, like that there is, I believe, how that would have been drawn. Then once that happens, yeah, you're away. So anyway, besides that, getting back to go live, when you are new, obviously step one is to go through the Academy Fund. I can't see the chat. Let me, how can I find the chat in here? See some things. Sorry guys, let me just drag this chat a bit bigger than I can see it. There we go. Do you only trade US 30? Yep, pretty much. I used to only do the NAS 100, the NASDAQ, the US 100, whatever you want to call it. And sometime this year, once I started to really tune into J more, I just decided to go for the US 30. Haven't really looked back. Every now and then I might glance at the NAS, but I fell in love with the US 30 on the first day I traded it. It was amazing. Why does the MACD not relevant in SniperVision? Jay, how do I describe this? Jay taught himself how to trade without any indicators. So he's a naked trader. He's learned how to read price action, candle patterns, etc. Maybe not so much patterns, but just price. He's looked at the US 30 a lot without indicators. And so a MACD for a new person, I'll give you context. The strategy that we used to run with looked something like this. Let me give you context for why we moved over to SniperVision. Some of us still trade the strategy, but for a brand new person, this is why we don't have a MACD, because this is what we used to trade over here. Now, if you're brand new and you're seeing all of this, That's a lot to take in. So there's multiple moving averages there. There's Bollinger Bands, there's PSAR dots, there's a MACD, there's a lot. And so if you're brand new, that's a pretty good reason to be freaked out by trading. And so the reason is you don't need it. It's if you follow the rules of SniperVision and you honestly just learn it properly, you do not need a MACD. But if you've already used one and you're familiar with one, and if you know SniperVision rules inside and out, and it can complement the strategy quite well for moments like that when you've got things that are going on, like bring the drawings back. And if you double click, you hide whatever's on the bottom and bring it back like that, little tricks. But yeah, when you can see these kinds of things happening and you just know that, like on a 3 minute, for instance, we're already kind of a little bit underwater over there on the MACD, like we've gone underneath over here, and we're just kind of okay, and then sure enough, like I mean, I'm not going to get into divergence right now. That's another way to read reversals, but it's brilliant if you can layer it on. And that's why when we first transitioned to SniperVision, guys, we didn't talk about MACD for like 6 months, and there were those of us that were doing dynamic edge, that other strategy, for most of last year. And then we just stopped talking about MACDs for a long time as we transition, just to get everyone focused on all they need to do. So if you are new, if you're in your first 3 to 6 months, please do not go and mess around with a MACD. You're just going to add one extra thing to look at and distract yourself from. For now, just learn what it is to take a signal, wait for like, look at that, signal, pull back, and then engulfing, bang, you could have been in. If you didn't take that signal, bang on, you could have entered after that candle right there. Like those little things like that, guys, that's what you need to go and learn when you're brand new. Learn which signals to take, which ones to ignore, what it looks like to enter, on the signal or after the signal, etc. And then after that, if you want to incorporate a MACD and you know the rules of SniperVision inside and out, then go at it. But yeah, sorry, I'm just squirreling off on that question, Zeph. But yeah, it's not that it's not relevant, it's that it's not necessary if you follow the rules and you trade at the right time of day. That's also a big deal. Like Jay's got he's got the time stamps of when to trade and when not to trade based on his strategy. And so, for instance, I believe SniperVision performs a little bit better on US volume than London volume. As you can see, it's doing its thing. Good signal. I mean, I don't even, what are we in right now? Let's see, if we reverse that, we're still in a downtrend. Yeah, we're still actually red. So technically all those buys are not quite there yet, still cycling through, but those buys have been going and the sells have not. And that's the problem. When you're approaching a trend shift, you're waiting for the 15-minute to catch up. But meanwhile, if the trend is shifted, you're going to see it first. The 1 minute's going to shift first. Then once that's moved enough, then guess what? After that, the 3 minute's going to shift. And then eventually, I mean, we can see up here, everything's down, right? 4 hour, 1 hour, 30 minute, 15 minute, but the 5 and the 1 are up. And it starts with the 1, then it goes to the 3, then it goes to the 5, depending on where those moving averages are. If they've been pretty flat, you might see something random. But if the 5 is up, next probably is going to be the 15. So obviously the trend shift comes from the 20, the red moving average crossing the blue, the 50. And then when you get to the 15-minute chart, we're still waiting. So when red crosses blue, we'll be in an uptrend finally. But yeah, guys, most of you know that. But if you're new, that's the thing. You're going to first see that shift on a 1 minute chart. That's going to be the first thing to tell you what's going on. The problem is that you can't base the entire trend off a 1 minute chart. But if you were taking them tonight, that buy was good. That one, if you held it, was good, and same with that one. And both these sells, you would have been stopped out, even though the downtrend, the 15 minutes says down. So probably not the right time of day to just be solely trusting in SniperVision on its own. I can tell you now that I believe it performs better on US volume. That's all I'll say for now. So at night, be careful. I mean, you can see all of this chop. Checking there wasn't a kid on the door. But yeah, I haven't even checked to see if we've got any news or anything happening right now, but that's a little messy. But besides that, 50-minute was really looking like it was going to shift to, yeah, and it could, because when you think about it, when you zoom out, look at this. How far out? 60-minute chart. Let's go. Let's get double click there and do this. So all these zones. So how many times have we hit the bottom right here? We've got like bottom, 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 and then down here we've got bottom, 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 and those are becoming higher lows. So there is a really good chance that we could be moving up. Where's this MACD at? Let's see. Yeah, so you see the MACD starting to turn around over here and work its way up, but got to be patient, see what happens. 30-minute tried, and then let's try again. just having a look, just seeing what's what. Yeah, 15-minute has hopped. So 15-minute MACD, you can see back there this morning when that did collapse, the 15-minute decided to cross down through, and on the there now and then we're underwater going sideways, and now sure enough it crossed up over there, and now we're above, and it could continue to go up. Who knows? I'm not going to get into a crazy amount of analysis right now, but I just want to re-emphasize, guys, that when you are, most of us are, it's been here a while and some of us are new, but I think a lot of us all know by now, like, guys, spend some time in the foundations when you're brand new. And if you want to go and, if some of you have maybe only done the TBX foundations, some of you have maybe done the FRX ones, there's a lot of content in there. If you've got time, just put in the time. So academies, step one, I'm not going to spend long here, but they started with the Forex English foundation. There's 14 hours of content in here. They get into harmonic patterns, Elliott wave. There's a little bit on divergence. There's a lot of stuff in there. You don't need all that stuff for SniperVision. It does become, layers of things that you see. That's why I prefer people to just honestly go through the TBX English 100 through 400 series. It's 24 videos or something, 2 hours long, maybe even less than that, and you're done. Then your foundations are done. Then you can be like, cool, see your foundations, I'm going to go live. Then you're going to come in here and click on either Jay's face or foreign exchange. And that's going to take you to the menu. This is the go live menu. This is where you're going to find Jay. And now you can see he's officially added that extra session there on Thursdays for us. So now he's live 9 hours a week here just on foreign exchange. He's also live on TCX crypto. But yeah, what a Trojan, man. What a dude. So anyway, 6 a.m., 4 mornings a week for us right here. 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 1 a.m. I don't know why that zigzags, but anyway. Yeah, what a man. So anyway, when you're new, you're going to come click on his face. That is going to take you to his channel. You can save that. It's channel 171. And I copy and paste that from a chat that I'm in with him into our team chat every morning right before we go live. So you could click that link, or it's just a little reminder. But recorded sessions, you're going to see all the recorded ones, all the most recent ones. But when you're new, it's favorite sessions. You're going to go in here. Whether or not you start on bootcamp day one or you watch something else, like, the overview, there's a lot in here. Happy birthday, SniperVision. Honestly, I haven't seen all of these. There's a trading psychology day one. So that's today. That's this morning's one. He's already put in the favorites. SniperVision overview, that sounds like a good place to start, to be quite honest, where he's going to show you the ins and outs of what it is. Confirmation checklist, that sounds like a great idea. Probably not day one. Chart setup, POC, bootcamp day one, and then day two, day three, day 4, day 5, day 6. That's what you're going to do. Anything else that's further back here, he decided to keep it in the favorite session. There was a previous bootcamp, but yeah, back when it was kill shot, etc. But now we've got this. So you've got this bootcamp. That's going to tell you all the ins and outs of it all. And then it's going to be this trading psychology and keeping up with him. So then you're going to watch each call day to day and just track along, guys. But this trading psychology one, guys, it's only 20 minutes long. If you skip the music in the beginning, 20 minutes. Go do yourself a favor and listen to it twice. Get it baked in there. There was such gold on that session, and just really cool of like the expectations that you're setting. Okay, I'm just having a look. Let's see what's going on. Some of you guys might be trading right now. Nice big 3-minute rejection up there, breaking a little trend line. Yeah, let's see if it wants to stay in this downtrend. Who knows? That's coming down to this level there. Possibly just stop hunting and moving on. What's the MACD saying? Just have a little look while we're here. So higher low, lower low, that's a bit of bullish divergence. So yeah, pushing up. So I'm not going to get into that right now, but that might have just been a cheeky little stop hunt right to the key level. So guys, another little hack if you want to. 33,000, big 000 number. Go add that to your chart with a line. I've put a few on. I've got every 100 I've now gone and put white lines on so I can see those coming. They're not necessarily key level. I do have key levels on here as well, like key levels from big stop hunts or reversals and etc. But right there, just a drop down, which was possibly a little bit of a stop hunt from there, and then bouncing off that. Just pretty cool. Like if you're like, why did price stop? I mean, there's a lot of reasons why price stops, and it's far more significant than a big round number. But yeah, moving averages, all sorts of things. But anyway, watch that trading psychology bootcamp. Tomorrow's going to be the next one. And then again, guys, it's just get that baked in. Like this is what, let me unshare for a second. This is the thing that most of us don't want to probably be honest with ourselves about. When you hear everyone say that trading is 90% mindset, ask yourself if you spend 90% of your time learning trading or strengthening your mindset. and then ask yourself, why am I not successful? That might be the answer. And it really obviously initially you've got to learn the mechanics of the strategy, and you know what, in about 10 to 20 hours time of studying, you're going to have the mechanics. It's not rocket science. It's a red or blue. Should I take this signal? Like, oh, 15 minutes says this, the cat, like, it doesn't take long to learn the rules of SniperVision. But then it's getting yourself to follow those rules and be okay with exiting on a 1 to 2 and walking away and not trying to think it's going to go to the moon, and be good at eventually learning how to move your stop loss and lock in gains and etc. And then from there, just keep progressing. And I know some of you are going to always have questions about what's the best way or easiest way to practically trade, whether it's on my phone. I mean, guys, I'm a dinosaur. I still am trading on my phone. It's got a magnetic charging dock. It's just right in front of me, and I can enter and exit pretty quick like that. It works, and I honestly do recommend when you're brand new, you start that way, because it's so quick for you to get set up and push a few buttons and see trades go up and down, see money going up and down, and you're gonna realize how simple this can really be. And then you might find you want to transition to either using something like MetaTrader on a desktop or CTrader on a desktop, or maybe even TradingView, which limited brokers, that's the constant conversation, but it's an option. You can paper trade in TradingView, you can demo trade in different demo trade, paper trade, same thing. But each just got to figure out what suits, and that's the one thing that, guys, we each have to do just a little bit of personal Google in this place, because the academy can't cross the line of financial advice and telling you exactly what execution platform to use. Definitely will never be telling you what broker to use, because there's so many people out there that do that and make their money off that. Guys, if you're not aware, this is why the academy's been around for over 10 years. There's certain things they don't do, which a lot of other cowboys do and it's do there you go, that works. When you're signing up with people and they're getting you to go and log into a certain broker, and they've given you an affiliate link to that broker, they're making money whether you trade well or not, and they're just making money off the fact that you're trading, and that exists, and it's horrible. And so with that, no one in here is ever going to send you a link to a broker. You just got to do a little bit of research to figure out what country you're in, what suits you, what are the reviews, can this link up to the execution platform that I want to use, and just get on YouTube and have a look at MetaTrader versus eTrader or TradingView versus this, and just figure out by looking. Like, I was the first one that got started here in New Zealand. I did not have any help. I just had to figure it out. And because I had to figure it out, I got a little bit stronger and figured it out. And so with that, there's a little bit of a, what's the word? You'll find strength through the struggle. And I know that some of us, like, we're here to help. Like, obviously, whoever enrolled you should be there to support you and answer questions, and I'm there definitely. And so with that, if you do have questions, reach out. But otherwise, you've got to do just a little bit of, okay, what suits me best? And YouTube and Google are brilliant for that. Brokers and execution are probably just the two things that you've got to figure out on your own, but we can definitely support you if you figure that out. But let's have a little look here behind me. Oh, sorry, just catching up with the chat. But yeah, guys, besides that, the only other thing I thought to mention before we wrap up, I'll keep tonight short, was this idea of, Jay's talking right now about mindset, and the idea of, this thing, I mean, I spoke about it at church a week and a half ago, but most of us all know this. You have a conscious mind and a subconscious mind. And if you're not aware of that, if I asked you right now, what is your phone number? It'll come to mind, or what's your birthday? Something you weren't thinking of, but you were able to recall it straight away. And basically your subconscious mind is a thought storage system. It's where all your memories are sitting. Everything is in there. I'm not a scientist, but I'd say that most of us maybe don't have a terrible memory system as such, like a hard drive. We just got terrible ways of recalling and bringing forth what's actually in there. I think there's a whole lot more inside there than we think. And so with that, what we're doing with trading and what we're doing with life is we're learning how to actually positively recondition our subconscious. At a subconscious level, we want to recognize patterns, right? At a subconscious level, we want to be able to instantly recognize this is a good trade. Or at a subconscious level, be aware of, like, okay, I live in abundance and there is more than enough, and et cetera, et cetera. And when you've got beliefs and things in there at a subconscious level, that's actually going to drive everything above that. And so initially, faith comes by hearing. Whatever you're hearing and taking in over and over and over again is going to slowly bake into that subconscious and begin to recondition what you believe. Because some of us might show up here and have terrible beliefs about finance. I thought mine were okay until I listened to Greg and Melanie. And I realized, like, sheesh, I need to actually read those verses in the Bible again and get a little bit more clear on what abundance looks like, and realize, like, I actually have been designed for that. And then the more I begin to bake that into my subconscious mind, the more I'm going to begin to see that over and over again. And so I talked about strongholds and how you can have a positive or negative stronghold. You can believe personally anything about finance or acceptance in community, relationships, whatever. If you believe at a subconscious level that you are only worth 100 grand a year, then if there's a segment of this in Bob Proctor's book, Change Your Paradigm, Change Your Life. And if you have not listened or read that book yet, do it. I think I have listened to it 5 times now, and I'm keen for a sixth. Like there is something he was talking about in there, how a guy went from, I think it was 80 or 100, whatever it was. He had a salary, started a business, and he basically, by the end of the first year or two, he was bang on the same as his salary. Not much above, not much below, because he had it baked into his subconscious that that's what he was worth. He believed that he shouldn't earn less, and he struggled to believe that he should earn more. And it's fascinating how at a subconscious level, that's what drives that. And so listen to that book. Bob will give you incredible handles and that kind of thing. But besides that, just learning like, okay, what are we doing here? We're learning to recondition and figure out who we're becoming. And I know when you're signing up to learn how to trade, you're just thinking, I need to get my money right. But you really, to get your money right, there is no amount of external abundance that you'll ever step into that you are not already at harmony within. You've got to actually, at a subconscious level, get familiar with what X amount or X lifestyle or whatever feels like. And when you've got that in there and you truly believe that you're actually worthy of stepping into that, not for selfish reasons, but also the fact that like, what does that equal for you? And if you can attach that more to a state of impact, then you're far more likely to move into it, because fulfillment comes from what you are giving and contributing to the world, not from what you're sucking in. And so when you can have a big enough vision for your life that includes the people around you and the overflow that your life will be able to have, then that's a beautiful vision. And then that plus that compound calculator can look pretty awesome in 2, 3, 4 years time. And yeah, guys, so with that idea of subconscious, conscious mind, I believe like there's something I shared the other way, and this might be going a little deeper than you want right now, but I won't spend long on this. But I believe at a spiritual level, you have been created perfectly and good to go. And the difference being that the Bible says we're created in God's image. I believe we're created in His image primarily at a spiritual level. And then your body is your spiritual DNA is the result of being created. Then your body was formed in the womb. Your body was formed because and you look like your parents, right? Like we're born looking like our parents, we die looking like our choices. But with that, as your body grows, your body is the result of a biological process. Your soul, your mind, your subconscious mind, they are the result of a sociological process. The way that you have gone through life up until this moment is what has conditioned your thoughts in your conscious and your subconscious mind. And that is where you actually begin to believe, who am I? What do I believe? What's my identity? What am I worth? And when you can start to figure out ways to reprogram that, then that's when life gets really, really exciting. And so something Greg says so well, he believes that, how does he phrase it? We're wired for greatness and programmed for failure. And when you can start to realize, think of yourself like a hard drive that sometimes needs a bit of a reset and a reprogram, and whatever you're taking in is going to be doing that. So the more and that is why, guys, Go Live is so important, because you're showing up and you're listening to an extremely successful investor trader. And it's his voice, his eyes, his perspective that is going to every day recondition the way you see that chart. And if you're off by yourself, spending heaps of time on the charts and you're winning, awesome, keep doing what you're doing. But if you're not quite there yet, then get back to base and listen to the man that is winning and get his voice into you, get his perspective into you, and listen to the people that have actually got the results that you want. It goes the same with anything, whether it's parenting, whether it's marriage, whether it's fill in the blank, whatever the thing is that you want to see more of in your life, get as close to someone that has those results and listen to them. A lot of people have got opinions. They're kind of like armpits, everyone's got them, but not all of them actually carry substance and authority. So I think Zeph liked that one. I'm just seeing your head back, but I don't know where that one came from. I heard it once upon a time. But we've all got opinions, but honestly, it cracks me up, whether it be trading or whether it be this business, guys. I love it when people have got an opinion about network marketing, but they've got zero experience. I find that to be the funniest one, because they're holding themselves back from what I believe is one of the most profound environments in business as possible. I mean, tangent, but you get to, I started a business. I ran my own electrical gig for a few years. I know what it costs to have a business, set it up and do all the things, waste all the time on quotes that never get taken up and paperwork to get paid and all that. And there's legitimate businesses and they're great that you can build and scale. But if most people's businesses have them, you don't have a business. If you can't leave and continue to get paid, you're lacking systems and you're lacking the ability to earn money beyond your time being traded in a different way. But when you truly understand the power of being able to leverage a business that's been around for 10 years and connect people to that business and you get paid for that, that's a game changer. and it's incredibly fulfilling. But when you realize okay, That's some people are going to have their different mindsets about that. Here's the funny part: we're all here, so we all got past that initial barrier. I didn't have one because I had no idea what network marketing was 28 months ago. But God bless Jono, that he was part of this for a year and wasn't building the business like crazy. He just saw value, and it took him a sweet year to tell me about it, but he told me. And I saw enough value in my first week to be like, yep, I know people that need this, let's go. And I knew that my results were going to have nothing to do with anybody else's results. I just invited people to take a look, and if they want to do this, they could do this. And I love the fact now that there's people that have been doing this for shorter time than me that are better than me at trading. Who would have thought? But that's the beauty of it, is that you get to, and that's what I love about this as well, is that you get to control your results. You get to control how often you show up, what kind of intensity you bring, how much energy you bring, how much life adjustment you're going to have on the side so that you can show up consistently. And that's going to determine the results that you get. So your results aren't based on the person that enrolled you, because they might not be as disciplined and patient or hungry as you. Some people show up like, yeah, I'll give this a go. Yeah, I know what your results look like. You're the kind of like, I mean, if you're like, I'm going to do this a couple times a week, not consistent enough to recondition your mind and the way you see finance and abundance and etc. But when you take the time every morning to get alone for a few minutes and write down your goals, whatever they are, every single day, and burn those into your subconscious mind, I can tell you now, your RAS, your reticular activating system, is then going to begin to look subconsciously for ways for those goals to be achieved. And you'll be amazed at what happens. I think it was John C. Maxwell that says, like, when you fully commit to something, at that point in time, it's almost like everything around you just, what's the word? Conspires to your success. I'll put it that way. When you fully commit to something, when you burn the bridge and say, I am doing this thing, and when you've got that dream and that goal baked into you at a subconscious level, that you just know what it looks like, you know what it feels like, it smells like, whether that be a trading result or the state of your marriage and family that you're aiming for, whatever it is, just get clear on it. Like, my number one goal is not trading. And it's not finance related. It's the quality of my connection with the Holy Spirit and with God, and within after that my marriage and family and parenting, and then leadership, and then business, and then trading. And so I want you to get super clear on who are you becoming in this process. Like, what do you want life to look like for you in 2 years, 3 years, 5 years time? And you might have different goals. You might have some right now where it's like, I need to adjust my health. We're getting up to summer. I need to do more push-ups, or I need to eat less sugar, whatever it is. Like, just be aware of the things, that the little adjustments you can make, but realize you're not going to change everything all at once. Oh, I'm starting to preach, guys. I better back it up. Otherwise, we're going to be here all night. But with that, I'm genuinely so excited for what we're experiencing right now as a team, guys. So encouraging to see so many of you guys showing up on Go Live in the morning, getting on there, watching live. I know some of you might not be able to watch live because of work. We've got appreciate the encouragement, guys. We've got daylight saving kicking in November for the US, Canada side of things. I'm not exactly sure what that equals to. I see it. We'll figure it out. Either way, there's always an opportunity, whether it's live or later. You will learn this stuff. I did not have much live in my learning at all. Like, the educator we followed with was live 2 or 3 times a week, full stop, and wasn't always convenient. But yeah, with that, guys, like, just have a little think about the psychology that we're in. Like, you've got a subconscious mind, you've got a conscious mind, and with that there also come 3 different mirrors that you can look into to see where you're at in life. And your circumstances are not who you are. Your circumstances are where you are. Who you are is the big thing. And when you realize that you are God's highest form of creation, and you are created to live in abundance, and that is who you are, when you realize you're a son or daughter of the King, and that his absolute baseline for you is to live in abundance, you don't have to work for that. You can work from that. And when you get that really conditioned into who you are, realize that you are actually royalty, and you've been designed for that, then at that point you will start to see different things. Like, and if you look in the mirror of circumstances, yeah, you might be disappointed. If you look in the mirror of other people, you're going to be disappointed. And yeah, anyway, when you learn to look in the right mirror, which is, I believe, the person that created you and has the best plan and best vision for your life, you will begin to have a reconditioned vision for yourself that is better than what you think it should be. And then when the people around you can catch a glimpse of that best vision for you, then they start to encourage you and support you and call out that better version of you. That becomes really, really fun. When you can have that community around you. Like, man, it got me so excited seeing Tom and Dills down in the South hanging out with Kat this last week. That was really special. Like, I had FOMO all the way up here just because you guys were together down there. But so cool, guys. Just seeing more and more South Islanders getting together. And next year, guys, all I can say right now is, whether you think you can afford it or not, Budapest mid-February is going to be the trip of our lifetime. I can tell you now. Anybody who went to Croatia will tell you that. But Budapest mid-Feb if you want to radically accelerate your life, like I love it how Eric Worre's talking about his GoPro experience coming up. Like if you want to learn something that takes if you want to compress 3 years into 3 days, show up to his thing. and that's like going to an event. Like when you go to an event, you're getting full immersion. You're getting to have meals with someone like Jay. You're getting to, have Alex Morton come to dinner. I mean, tell me, when is the last time you got to sit down with someone that's made tens and tens and tens of millions of dollars? Probably not recently. That's different. They talk differently. They sound different. They think different. They ask you different questions about your life. And that is not a room that you can often buy your way into. It takes a sacrifice. It takes putting yourself in a position to win. And it's worth it, guys. And I've said this over and over again. I've never had all the money required in the moment to go on a trip like that, ever. It's never just been sitting there conveniently. There's always been something in life, like a $30,000 bathroom fix that I had to do a few months ago that was like, okay, Croatia, let's go. But I'm just being real. It's not like you get to a point where all the ducks are always in a row. There's still life. But when you just make a decision and when you fully commit to the process, that's when things really, really, really shift. That happened for me with Arizona last year. And then I realized, like, the secret is they've actually been saying this all along, but it's true. You go to an event and everything shifts. So that's why I've been to 3 in the last 12, 13 months, because I've realized that that's the number one thing that causes me to accelerate and grow the most. And the more I grow at a subconscious and conscious level, guess what? The better my trading gets. So anyway, guys, without any further ado, we're banging on close to 9, and so fun to be able to. Is anyone close to Dunedin? I'm not too sure. There we go. Zeph, if you want, we actually have a South Island chat. So if you're unaware of that, I'm pretty sure most of our South Islanders are in there. Got an Aussie chat firing up as well. And yeah, guys, I'm really, really encouraged from what I'm seeing, honestly. Like, I'm seeing a lot of you guys show up to go live. I'm seeing a lot of you guys putting in the work, and just treat it, guys, if you treat it like a job, if you, I just turn off Netflix, turn off the distractions, figure out what you need. Like, this is what I went through when I turned, when was it? Somewhere around 30. This is because I've studied quite a bit of this stuff. I had this moment where in the midst of parenting, at this point, we just had our 3rd child. And there wasn't a lot of spare time for me. And I think a lot of the parents know what this is about. You go from having a lot of time to having less and less and less and less as more and more kids start showing up. But at 30 years old, I don't think I've ever shared this with you guys. I felt how I would describe my heart going, poof, and the phrase, will we ever matter again? And I was like, oh, what did that mean? And I realized, like, at a subconscious level, I was heading towards a burnout and breakdown because I felt like my needs weren't getting met at all. There felt like there was no time for me to either get to a gym, no finance, no time to get to a gym or do the things that I used to love, whether it was snowboarding or golf or surfing, all the things that, take a lot of time. When you got young kids, it's a season. But when you have a moment like that, you're like, oh, I knew right then that if I didn't change something in 6 months, I was probably gonna have a breakdown. And so then I started to look at, okay, what can I change right now that makes me feel like I matter? Because that was the thing I realized. And so in the midst of that, you might be in a completely different season, but all that to say, you've got to figure out what your needs are and how to get them met, whether that's a 30-minute walk or run in the morning or a bath at the end of the night, whatever it is. You got to figure out that thing that kind of hits your refresh button and recharges you a little bit. Otherwise, yeah, you will burn out. You can't just decide that I'm going to go all in on this and not take away from something else, because you can't just add and add and add. That's why I don't recommend that people suddenly change everything when they show up here, because you can't change everything all at once, but layer upon layer upon layer. And so figure out what that thing is for you. If that is watching one episode on Netflix or one movie a week with the fam, like family movie night on a Friday for us, then figure out what that one thing is here and there where you still feel like you're kind of, have got a moment to relax and unwind and etc. Because yeah, it's real. Otherwise you end up burning the candle on both ends. And if you haven't done that before, you can end up pretty burnt out, and that doesn't work for anyone. And just take the expectations off. Like, that's what Jay was saying this morning. Take the expectations off each trade. When you realize, like, he said something so good, guys. He said, how often do you place your expectations for the day, not that you do, on that trade? And if that trade goes well, you're on a high all day. And I feel that. And when the trade goes badly, trading. But when you realize, then, like, nothing is promised. We have signals, but no one still knows exactly what's going to happen next. But when you can learn to disconnect your emotional state from your results with trading, that is actually, it's funny. You need to learn it in the beginning on a small amount of money, because if you are not okay with seeing small amounts going up and down, that's why it's better to look at pips and dollars, because the small amount will make you want to risk more. But if you're not prepared to stop engaging with the money at that realm, you will not be ready to engage with the money at this realm. Because when it's that big, it's going to mess with you even more than when it's that small. And so that's the process you got to go through. Set aside the expectation and realize I'm here to get pips, and my account will take care of itself if I follow the rules, follow the process, and just go for it. So anyways, guys, I have gone way longer than I thought of, but yeah. If you have questions, get back with whoever enrolled you, guys. I want to encourage you. You can have as much accountability or as little accountability as you want in this place, but before you go live, before you want to start messing around with real money, have a chat to the person who plugged you in and be like, hey, these are my results. Do you think I'm ready to go live? Or hey, do you think I am, this is my schedule, like I'm showing up. Do you think I'm taking this seriously enough? Do you think what I'm doing right now, the way I've adjusted my time, is conducive to me having a successful journey? And maybe they haven't been here long enough to answer that question. Then just shoot the text higher up the line and shoot it to me, because I know what it takes, and it takes time, it takes discipline, it takes adjustments, but it's worth it. I will say it is worth it, guys. So anyway, without further ado, let's wrap up the night. Almost 9 o'clock. I have not even had a chart behind me. I'm mildly impressed with myself to not distract myself with that. Looks like it's dipping down and turned around. But yeah, with that, guys, thanks for showing up. Tuesdays, we'll be on there with Jay tomorrow morning for his go live and his mindset call. Go listen to the replay of the one today if you missed it. And then we'll see you in the chat, guys. Oh, before I forget, the one date I do have locked in is Monday night, the 6th of November, Auckland. We're going to do it. Dad has got plenty of content up his sleeve, and Monday night, the 6th of Auckland, will be the next one that we do there, and possibly 1 month after the fact in December. We'll have 2 more of the bigger-ish team type nights there. Otherwise, stacks of home events in between here and there. Once again, let me know if you want me to come along to your wherever you are. I'll do my best to. Heading to Tauranga somewhere around the 16th-ish, and possibly Hawke's Bay after that. But guys, want to do as much of that as I can with you. It's super fun seeing you all face to face. So yeah, 6th of November, the 6th, Monday the 6th. We've done a lot of Sundays, but I know a lot of our guys have hospitality jobs, so we thought we'd go with the Monday to give them a turn. So Monday night the 6th, we will be at Horizon, and I'll create an event for it. Anyways, enjoy the rest of your evening. I'm gonna chuck a song on, and we will get out of here. All right, guys, enjoy. Thanks for being with us, and we'll see you all in the chat. All right, good night, everyone.